So this is a reference. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the control of condenser and reboiler. Okay, so first one is condenser. So this one is the symbol of condenser. Okay, so you can see that this one is a heat transfer medium. Please note, this is not process medium, this is heat transfer medium, and this is process medium. How I identified this one? Please note, this one is two parallel lines are there, so definitely this is process medium. Here I have single line, so this is heat transfer medium. Now if you are looking on this heat transfer medium, that is a continuous single straight line before and after heat transaction. So means this is continuous means liquid, right? Then single means that is cooling liquid. Okay, single line means cooling, continuous means liquid. So this is cooling liquid. Now here, if you are looking on this process medium side, before effect, you can see that this one is broken two lines. So this is vapor. At the inlet side we have vapor. Then output side we have continuous two lines. So this is liquid. Means process vapor is converted to process liquid by using this cooling liquid. Okay. So here you can see that if you are considering process medium, vapor is converted to liquid. So there is a phase change. And if you are going through this heat transfer medium, before and after operation, this is liquid. So there is no change in phase of heat transfer medium. Okay. Now what is happening to temperature? As the heat transaction. So here you can see that this cooling liquid is absorbing heat energy from process medium. So due to this heat loss, process medium is converted to liquid. So you can't expect any change in temperature, or temperature change is negligible. So a latent heat is associated with this one. So that is lambda, and the flow rate of this process medium, that is Wp. Okay. Now here in heat transfer medium there is no change in phase. So the heat absorbed by this cooling liquid is used to increase its temperature. So the temperature is changed from T1 to T2, where the flow rate of this cooling liquid is Wh. H means heat transfer medium. So we can easily derive the process equation. Heat energy transferred by the process medium is lambda into Wp, that is equal to heat energy absorbed by the heat transfer medium, that is Cp, that one is specific heat, okay, Ch, we can write it as Ch for understanding it. So Ch, so that one is a specific heat of heat transfer medium, into Wh, flow rate of heat transfer medium, into the change in temperature. So largest one is T2 minus T1. So this is a process equation. Number of variables are Wp, T1, Wh, T2. So four independent variables are there, and one process equation is there. So the degrees of freedom is 3. So this one is the condenser. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the control of condenser. So two different strategies are used. Okay. So these are two different strategies. So you can see that in these two strategies, the flow rate of heat transfer medium is manipulated. So flow rate of heat transfer medium is manipulated. Is it okay? Now what we are measuring? In this first strategy, the temperature of process liquid, means after heat transition the process medium is converted to liquid, so its temperature is decreased. Okay. So for example, take water, means if it is vapor, after heat transition that one is converted to water. Am I correct? So, under normal situation, under atmospheric pressure, for respiratory purpose only, if the temperature is less than 100 degrees Celsius, something around 99 degrees Celsius, we can expect liquid, because the boiling point is 100. So, if it is less than 99 or around 99 degrees Celsius, so definitely this one will be liquid. So, we can measure temperature, and by using temperature we can check whether the process vapor is converted to liquid or not. Okay, but please note this is not that much effective, because this measurement is affected by a number of parameters like definitely pressure, the vapor pressure, constituents, etc. So this one is that much. This one is not that much effective. So more effective one is pressure. By using pressure, the vapor pressure, we can manipulate the flow rate of heat transfer medium. If more vapor is present, pressure will be more, then we need more cooling liquid, or the flow rate of cooling liquid must be lower, so that we can easily convert that much available process vapor to liquid. So pressure is measured, and by using that pressure, the final control element, control valve, is manipulating the flow rate of cooling liquid. But please note, in these two cases, for effective controller, the residence time of cooling liquid inside this heat exchanger must be less than 1 minute, normally less than 45 seconds. Okay, so that is very important. Okay. Now there are some situations where we can't use these two control strategies. That is, one example is, if the process medium have uncondensable components like inert gas, then we can use these two situations. If you have inert gas, then the problem of blown up problem will occur. So in order to avoid that, instead of manipulating this heat transfer medium, we have to manipulate the flow rate of condensate. Here we have to place the control valve. So that is our next strategy that is shown here. Okay. So here, please note, this one is a process vapor that is condensed to liquid. Okay. So what is happening here? Here, this pressure is measured, process vapor pressure is measured, and by using that pressure measurement, vapor pressure measurement, PIC is manipulating the condensate rate. So what is happening? So here you can see that the flow rate of heat transfer medium is maintained constant. So if the flow rate of heat transfer medium is constant, then the heat transaction of energy from process vapor to this cooling liquid will depend on the heat transfer area. Why? Because the flow rate of heat transfer medium is constant. So the heat transfer area is important here. Okay. So here the pressure is measured. Then PIC is manipulating the flow rate of this condensate with respect to the measurement. So what is happening if you are closing this control valve? If you are closing this control valve, the flow rate of condensate will decrease. But please note, for a time being, here the heat transaction is constant. So if you are decreasing this condensate flow rate, definitely the liquid level inside this heat exchanger will increase. So this liquid level will cover more and more area. If it is covering more and more area, what is happening? If it is covering more and more area, this heat exchange, the heat transaction will decrease. So the conversion of vapor to liquid will decrease. So once again I am repeating. Okay. So here the pressure measurement is with respect to the pressure measurement, PIC is manipulating this control valve. So my question is, if you are closing this control, what is happening? If you are closing this control valve, the liquid level above this control valve will increase. Why? Because here the condensation rate is constant. So if you are reducing the flow rate of condensate, not condensate rate, if you are reducing the flow rate of condensate, as the condensation rate is constant, more and more liquid is coming, and this control valve is not allowing to remove that condensate. So definitely the liquid level above this control valve will increase. So after some time it will definitely cover more and more area, which will decrease the heat transfer area. So if the heat transfer area is decreased, what will happen? The less amount of vapor is converted to liquid. So vapor pressure will increase. So please note, if you are closing this control valve, vapor pressure will increase. What will happen if you are opening this control valve? If you are opening this control valve, then the liquid trapped inside this one is slowly removed. So heat transfer area will increase. So more heat transfer will occur. So more vapor is converted to liquid. Okay. So now you can say what we have to do if vapor pressure is large. If this pressure is large, then what is indication? More vapor is available. So we have to convert more vapor to liquid. Okay. So we have to open this control valve. What about if less amount of vapor is available? If less amount of vapor is available, there is no need to convert that much amount of vapor to liquid. So we can close this control valve. Okay. Now what is the advantage? The advantage is the pressure may be, the pressure is depending upon vapor, it is also depending upon the uncondensable components, the component that is not condensable. It is depending upon that also. For example, inert gases. Is it okay? So pressure is increasing means that one may be due to the presence of inert gas. Okay. So we need to use some mechanism to remove that inert gas. So for that purpose, a vent is used. So we can open this vent by using this pressure control signal. Means if this control signal is large, means definitely it is due to this inert gas. Okay. Very large pressure means if this pressure is very large, what we have to do? We have to open this control. So this one is fail open valve. So this control signal will be small. So if this control signal is very close to 3 psi, means this is electrical signal. So if it is very close to 4 milliampere, means the presence of inert is small. We can predict that. So by opening this vent, we can remove that inert. So normally the inert gas will ascend this column. So we can easily remove that vent if this control signal is small or if this pressure is large. Okay. If you are not doing so, or if you are not controlling this condensate rate, blown up problem will occur. So you know what is blown up problem. We already discussed that in control of steam heater. Okay. So that problem will occur if you are not manipulating this condensate flow rate. Okay. Please note, this control setup is actually not accurate, but in some situation we have to use it. We are forced to use it if the more volatile components are present. And one more disadvantage is this response of this controller is not symmetrical. Symmetrical means for positive error and for negative error, we are expecting the similar type of control action, symmetric type of control action. So that is absent here. Here we have a non-symmetrical response. That one is another disadvantage of this setup. So this one is control of condenser by manipulating the condensate flow rate, condensate removal rate. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the control of reboiler or vaporizer. So this one is a symbol of reboiler or vaporizer. So what is happening? Here reboiler is used to vaporize the process medium. Means initially it is liquid. So you can see two parallel continuous lines. So initially this is liquid that is converted to process vapor. You can see after heat exchanger we have dotted two lines. So means that is process vapor. So please note, if we want to convert process liquid to process vapor, we have to transfer a large amount of heat energy. So that is possible by using steam. So the heat transfer medium is steam, means steam is used to transfer that much energy to the process medium. So after this heat transition, steam is converted to liquid. Okay. So please note, the process medium is initially liquid, that is converted to vapor. So you can see one phase change here associated with the process medium. One phase change is there. So the change in temperature is negligible. The phase is changed. Similarly here in heat transfer medium, initially it is steam that is converted to liquid. So you can see another phase change in heat transfer medium. So here also the change in temperature is negligible. Okay. So please note, associated with the process medium, say lambda P is the latent heat of process medium, Wp is the mass flow rate of process medium. Similarly, lambda S is the latent heat of steam, that is heat transfer medium, and Ws is the flow rate of steam. Okay, so heat energy transferred by heat transfer medium, that is steam, is lambda S into Ws, where that energy is transferred to process medium. So the heat energy absorbed by the process medium is lambda P into Wp. So again we have one process equation, and how many variables are there? Ws and Wp, two variables are there. So two independent variables and one equation, we have degrees of freedom is 1. So means we can implement only one independent control loops. Okay. So this one is the control of reboiler. So here you can see that temperature of process vapor is measured, and by using that temperature, TIC is manipulating the flow rate of steam. Okay, either you can measure the temperature of process medium, or you can measure the pressure of process medium. Okay, so the better one is here, temperature. So temperature is measured, and by using temperature, the flow rate of heat transfer medium is manipulated by using TIC. So please note, as it is steam which have relatively high temperature, we need to use a normally closed valve, a failed closed valve, to maintain the safety condition. Okay, so this one is the control of reboiler. Okay. So please remember, even if it is not perfect, the inclusion of bypass line or bypass controller will increase the number of degrees of freedom. The degrees of freedom that we can increase by including a bypass controller. Especially in reboiler, you can see that the degrees of freedom is 1. If we want to include one more controller, then definitely we need to increase the degrees of freedom. So something similar to a bypass controller that we have to use. Okay.